this afternoon for what I feel is going to be a very powerful and very exciting journey that we're going to take together. Wonderful process. So glad to have you all on board, and I just know that we're really going to raise and connect with some powerful energy on the journey that we're going to take. I have prepared a couple of visuals for you in order to just give you a little bit of background as to how this process came about and to share with you some information that I feel is very important and very valid to support our foundation as we move forward with this new era and with this shift and with the times that we're actually living through. And it's some information that I came across very recently through the works of an author by the name of Elizabeth H. So I do give acknowledgement for the source of some of this information. And in reading through this work, there were certain things that really, really jumped out at me and that resonated in my whole body as truth. And it really helped to provide a big picture understanding for both the epoch that we are entering, being the age of Aquarius, for the shift and the times that we are in now, and certain things that we need to hold and bear in mind. And one of those specifically has been the image of the lion, which many people have been connecting with just recently, that I put out in the recent newsletter. So without further ado, I just love this image by Nyako Nakar, wonderful artist. If you ever get the opportunity, go and have a look on his website. Here it is, nyakonakar.com. He's a visionary artist, and all of the images that I use of his are used with permission and with full acknowledgement. And I loved this image that he's actually got here. He calls it just Golden Man. But for me, this is just such a powerful representation of the essence, if you like, of the new human being that we are becoming. So we find our wings, we embody the golden essence of the divine, we are supported, look at this, by the divine fire balanced between the elements. Just such a powerful, powerful image for us to hold in our consciousness. So that really starts it off. Let's have a revisit very quickly for or of the energies that we have today for this process, because there's nothing else that really demarcates this day and this energy as being anything really significant, except for the fact that I was guided to it again. So first of all, we have today being a galactic activation portal day. Most of you that have sort of read my newsletters will be familiar with that concept, that it is part and parcel of the Mayan cycles and attributes of the Mayan calendar, that the galactic activation portal days that are identified are opportunities for us to let down or diminish the barriers between us and the cosmic expanded consciousness. So it's a very powerful opportunity for us to connect with the divine, for want of a better description, because the cosmos and everything in it is an expression of the divine or sacred creator. So Galactic Activation Portal Day, and then today is Kin 192, which adds up to the number 3, and 3 is the Trinity, which is in essence the balancing within the divine masculine, feminine, and child. So it represents that holy family, if you like, the blending of energies to provide stability, because the triangle is the representation of the most stable form. The wave spell that we are in is night, and the night is really attributed to the goddess energy in a sense, but it's an opportunity for us to make whatever is unconscious conscious, to bring it out and to make it conscious, and to use it and broadcast that new consciousness, transformed consciousness out into the world. It's described as the energy of the yellow human, hence also the image in the beginning, which is golden. May the energy of the yellow human help me to use my free will to make decisions that are wise and for the highest good. I am guided by the power of illumination. Now, the energy that's encompassed in this makes such perfect sense for the journey and this the additional sacred information that I want to share with you before we go into the process itself. So there are some key words in there: wise decisions for the highest good, guided by the power of illumination. We are in overall what is termed the fourth castle of giving, which is another time or energy sequence within the Mayan calendar. So we're talking about openness, about generosity, and we're talking generosity of spirit, and to give what we give from that sacred core of ourselves with abundance and with generosity and in true recognition of the divine nature of who we are. So it's a beautiful encompassing energy that we actually have today, and you'll see how that fits in shortly. Um, okay, another image for you. Now, this is just so powerful and very, very relevant, bearing in mind that a lot of people have been accessing or harnessing images of the lion, not just because we are currently in the constellation of Leo, which we are transiting at the moment. We're moving into the constellation of Virgo in terms of our 12-month zodiacal cycle. But the lion and the leonine energy has very, very powerful symbolism in terms of the energetic radiance for the greater epoch that we are traversing through. Very, very incredible power, and that will hopefully make sense for you in a moment. But this is just such a powerful, powerful image. There's a comment in the chat room that somebody seems to have lost sound. Somebody's been cut off. For the rest of you, okay, if somebody could just give me a heads up that you can still hear me. Yeah, you're okay. It's obviously one of the specific connections. That's great. Thank you, everyone. Great. Okay, so this image of the lion or the Leo is a very, this particular one is a very powerful image of strength, of power, of the fiery element of the divine, of passion, of the energy of the heart, because in its traditional sense, that's what the essence or the energy of Leo and the lions really brings to our lives, which is hugely important that we bear this in mind, probably for the rest of our lifetime, which you'll understand in a moment. So a wonderful, wonderful image that I just wanted to share with you. And you might want to hold that in mind when we actually go through the journey that we're going to take shortly. Very relevant for the energy of the new planetary human. So the information, the really sacred, arcane information that I wanted to share with you is this that was extracted, if you like, from the works of Elizabeth H. And it really relates to the symbolism of the pyramids in Egypt, very arcane metaphysical knowledge, that the pyramids in Egypt stand as representations of what are called or termed the four faces of God. And those, each triangular face on the pyramid is set upon a square base, and the square base then represents the anchoring of the sacred or divine energy into man so that we can access it, but the pyramid itself stands as a testament to the divine nature of God itself. It is the manifestation of God into form, into human form. So the pyramids actually represent that. And what the four faces of God represent are the stable, materialized radiations of the divine creator in physical form. In other words, the pyramid. So those of you that have worked with me and followed this for some time will actually understand the link between the pyramid and the octahedron. And I've just put this in for you because the sacred or divine octahedron is two pyramids. Look at this. You've got the square base, you've got a pyramid above, and you've got a pyramid below. So it's actually two pyramids joined at the base which represent the soul, our human soul. It's the shape, the sacred octahedron is the shape of the soul. So it is the vehicle through which we begin to access the radiations of the divine and bring them into materialized form through our physical being. But this is something that really, really struck me, is that the four faces of God in their prime, stable, materialized form are represented by four of the specific zodiacal constellations and the energies that they radiate. That doesn't mean that the others are not relevant. They absolutely are, because each one of these heads up a triad or a triangular face. So each one of these four fixed points is linked with a triad of the other that's comprised of the other zodiacal sign emanations. Now, just before I go any further, just to clarify for you, I'm not an astrologer, but this is just such very powerful arcane knowledge and sacred knowledge. Um, and we know that the universe that we live in is an electric universe. So there are electrical, electromagnetic relationships between all of the planets, between the various stars in our galaxy, between stars and planets themselves. So we know that our sun, we have an intricate relationship with it. You will have heard me talk about this before. So there are electromagnetic relationships that together combine with the stars that form these particular constellations in order to emanate very specific qualities that the Earth experiences for a period of time. And if the Earth experiences it, it means that we as individuals are experiencing it, and that our challenge is to take that energy or that essence and to stabilize it in its right way so that it becomes a true expression of the sacred or of the divine through our physical bodies as we live and express that on the planet. Okay, so the four so-called faces of God that represent the most stable, first of all, Leo. We have this one up here, and that in the arcane knowledge is recognized as being the strongest of all of them, but it represents the fire, the divine passion, the fire, the energy of the heart. So it is an expanded love, a really powerful love energy expressed through an expanded heart. So there you have that particular face characterized by Leo or held by Leo. However, on this opposite side here, you actually have Aquarius, which represents something completely different, and it represents the air, the element of air, and it connects us with the mental or intellectual capacities of the aspects of mind. And very, very significant, as I'll show you in a moment. On this side, we have Scorpio, which links us with water and the emotional aspects of ourselves, mastery of which enables us to express the energy of the divine through our emotional bodies and beingness. And on this side, this particular face, we have Taurus, which represents the earth and the physical. So if we look here at the sacred octahedron, we perhaps see it in a different way, that each of these triangular faces of the pyramid represents one of these faces of God as such. So we have the top pyramid representing the divine expression, the stability of that, the sacred, the ultimate divine creator. And the lower pyramid, which goes to connect and make up the octahedron. So in the lower pyramid, essentially what we have is we have all of the aspects of the divine that are still abiding in the unconscious, that we have the ability to connect with through the morphogenetic fields, through our bodies, through the earth, and that through the spiritualization process, through working within and with the sacred octahedron, we have the opportunity to bring everything from the unconscious up into the conscious in order to realize that top pyramid, if you like, which balances all of those divine energies and faces. So I hope that is making some sense for you at the moment. Um, One of the important aspects about this particular configuration is that the opposite polarities, if you like, or each one of these faces is regulated and balanced by its opposite polarity. So Taurus, the earth, is regulated by water and emotions. Earth is very sturdy, strong, and stable. Emotions are flowing. So what you have is a regulatory effect with both of these. So you have the balancing effect within the diamond or within the pyramid between the opposite poles or faces. On this side, you actually have Leo or fire representing the heart, balancing mind and the element of air. So it actually fuels, if you like, air fuels fire. Um, but the two attributes regulate and balance each other in their qualities, which is one of the key reasons why, in my understanding and with what I know within my being, that the Leonine imagery and energy has become so prominent at the moment. Not only that, but we find that we are in a time which is asking us to balance the heart and mind, which is what I've always said is that the sacred octahedron supports us in balancing and creating a heart-mind balance. So can you guys just let me know, is that making sense for you at the moment? Okay, you're all fine so far. Okay, that's fine. As long as you've got the essence. Leslie, you will actually be able to log back on, so the internet is actually playing up slightly. You will get the full recording of this, so you will be able to go through it again. So that's okay. Okay, that's absolutely great. Um, Scorpio, if you actually think about the scorpion actually has a sting which can actually produce a burning reaction, but the essence of the Scorpio constellation is not necessarily in fire, it's that its ruling quality is water. Okay, so this actually balances. This in sacred or arcane language is also characterized, as far as I understand, by this Taurus is the bull. Scorpio, I think, is also characterized by the eagle. So it would be very easy to also misinterpret the eagle as representing the air. But this is the arcane, um, if you like, pyramid of qualities. Now, where this becomes really interesting is to look at the grand cycles of time in order to put everything into perspective. And this is the precession of the equinoxes, because there is so much that's going on out there, if you like, that is, we're expecting instant ascension in this lifetime. Thank you, Angela, for confirming that. Scorpio is actually a water sign. Um, the precession of the equinoxes really helps us to place things back into a bigger cycle perspective. So from my understanding of where we are at and what is actually going on, we are not going to suddenly ascend into some weird and wonderful so-called fifth dimension, what have you, in the next year or 2 years or 3 years. There are major, major things taking place. We are well into the shift on this planet, but we are talking about development and spiritual realization through epochs of time that actually last for over 2,000 years. And this is our opportunity to master that particular element, which represents those specific faces of God, if you like, over the 2,000 years. So not only are we accessing what is already embedded within the morphogenetic fields from previous civilizations, we are seeding the morphogenetic fields with what we do and with what we learn right now, and with what we align with as the new planetary human future generations, so that this epoch and this time and these radiations can actually be used for the highest benefit of all. For those of you who are not familiar with the precession of the equinoxes, it really is linked with the tilt of the Earth's axis. This is the tilt of the Earth's axis. And as it rotates around this axis, it actually wobbles a bit like a spinning top because it is not a complete sphere or spherical. It's slightly oblate. So it's not a perfect sphere. So what happens is that as the Earth rotates, it actually seems to inscribe, if you like, a cone. So if you can imagine a spinning top as it's turning, if it's not completely balanced, it sort of inscribes the top of the top would inscribe a cone rather than standing still and rotating in one point. So over grand cycles of time, and the precessionary cycle in total, this whole cycle is 26,000 years. So over cycles of time, the Earth or the plane of the ecliptic makes it appear as if the Earth is moving backwards through the signs of the zodiac. And for a period of 2,200 years, one particular astrological configuration will be emanating its radiation into the earth, if you like, through the various equinoxes until this rotation moves along another notch and we enter a new cycle of another 2,200 years. Now we have just come out of, and we are transiting at the moment, this is Pisces. It's not, the text isn't 100% clear on this, so I do apologize, but this is Pisces. So it looks as if we're moving backwards from Pisces into Aquarius because of this wobbling effect of the Earth and its rotation, as well as the gravitational effects of the Sun and the Moon. So they have a huge impact. So we're in this transition at the moment, but I want you to just take a look here, because here we have the emerging age of Aquarius, and on the opposite side of the 12 zodiacal signs, there you have Leo. So it actually sits there as a balancing factor in this grand sphere traced out by the total of all of the zodiacal signs. We're going to go into the meditation shortly. The internet probably is playing up as a consequence of sort of geomagnetic activity, because I know that there is geomagnetic disturbance at the moment. So I hope you guys will be able to stay with us. So I'm almost finished with this. So I really just wanted to highlight this because this is where we're moving into, and I just want to show you. So it's a 2,200 year epoch. And what this means is our challenge as we move into this time, so that's our challenge right now, is that the radiation from that constellation of Aquarius for the next 2,200 years is our opportunity to master the element of air. And if you really take note of the transitional window that we have been in, say, for the last century or the last 100 years, we have seen a lot of this happening as we have actually been able to turn turn water into steam, which is effectively the gaseous air quality of water, so that we can run things on steam. We have learned to burn fossil fuels, so to produce gas to fire combustion engines. So we have actually started with this, and that has impacted on our development as a species, on our evolution as a species. The radiation of the age of Aquarius also dissolves boundaries, so it actually exposes us to a boundless or unlimited mind. That gives us the opportunity to be able to access more of the universal mind, more expansive information, huge leaps and giant leaps in creativity. So we kind of see this happening in quantum ways as well, which we have seen over, sort of the past 20 years as this has been escalating, as we've moved more closely into alignment with this. Dissolving boundaries, geographical and cosmic. We see lots of fighting over boundaries. We see ourselves breaking free of the Earth atmosphere to start exploring space. And this is going to only expand further. We will see, and we have seen, the generation of creative ideas and enormous, incredible technological developments, harnessing the power of the wave, quantum and electromagnetic. By wave here, I'm talking energy waves, not water waves. And you see that in the symbol of the water bearer or the sign of Aquarius in those wave forms. That actually refers to the electromagnetic waves in the electromagnetic spectrum. So we will actually see more and more of this development and our ability to understand and to utilize electromagnetic energy. So we also have quantum leaps and giant leaps forward in energy healing. So we see that being raised at the moment. Now, one of the things that is a cautionary note, and you may be able to understand this, is that a boundless mind without boundaries that knows absolutely no limits can actually be subject to, if it's not balanced or regulated by its opposing force, which is Leo, can actually lend itself to childlike explorations, fantasy and imagination, and mental illnesses. Now, I want you to look at the world that we see around us at the moment, and what do we see? We see people bound in terms of their mind, mental slavery, mental manipulation, and we actually see a huge, almost explosion in mental illnesses. So while this is an epoch that is governed by and regulated by and that promotes the expansion of mind, we actually have to bear in mind, wonderful expression, bear in mind that this needs to be balanced by some form of structure and guidance, and this is where the moderating effect of that Leo lion actually comes in. So look at what Leo brings to the party, or the Leonine radiations. It brings in a paternalistic guiding energy. It brings in support, protection, and guidance, so that the mental creative abilities do not run wild. What do we see out there in the world at the moment? We see biotech companies, we see GM sort of advances, and Monsanto, the likes, which are doing what they're doing without regard for the collective, without regard for the welfare and the well-being of humanity. So what it is, it's the boundless or unlimited mind actually gone mad. It is not regulated by the true understanding of the sacred and the divine and the learnings and the lessons. And this is where the Leonine energy will support us in being able to bring that into the collective and align with that. It's really important that we do. So it also brings in strength. It brings in recognition of the sun as the prime source of manifestation of earthly energy. Very powerful. We're already starting to recognize the influence that the sun has on all spheres of our life, not just from the physical perspective, but also from the psychological perspectives as well, and that there's a lot of talk about new codes coming in from the sun. That is absolutely correct, because it is the prime source of manifestation. Leo also brings in leadership and direction, so it provides a focus for the energies and the information which come in through the unlimited universal creative mind. It also provides, because it is the strongest guiding force of those four fixed faces of God, if you like, it provides strong foundation and spiritual values to guide this. So technology in and of itself is not bad, which is what some people are saying at the moment. It is not bad. It is what we are doing with it, how we use it, and the spiritual values that we actually apply to our utilization of the technology. It is also the courage to direct the unlimited mind to do the right things. And that applies as much in our everyday life as it applies in the big picture perspective. So every time that we harness that leonine energy within us, that strength and that power to do the right things, we are seeding the morphogenetic fields with a pattern and with those spiritual values that say what we do needs to be always bearing in mind the collective welfare of the whole, the sacredness of the whole mission of that sacredness. So I hope that makes a little bit of sense. I've just summarized for me as well the new planetary human qualities and aspects that are significant at the moment that we need to bear in mind, for, as I say, from a big picture perspective. That the new planetary human guides and directs the awakening creativity with true knowledge of the sacredness of all. So it's not just creativity for creativity's sake. That often becomes childlike playing. That is an absolute prerequisite and an essence for the creative spirit to come through, but then we guide that creativity with the understanding of what we are seeding, and we guide it and direct it. The new planetary human spiritualizes matter, and through the sacred octahedron, through the diamond, which has come into our consciousness, we are able to do that. We spiritualize and we bring the divine into and through our physical form, and it embodies divine love. And that divine love is a very courageous love that is not afraid of doing the right things when it's absolutely necessary. Our new planetary human blueprint is free of old beliefs and mental slavery. It has been able to open and expand the mind and move beyond limited thought patterns. It is able to act, or we are able to act upon spiritual or creative guidance. The new human is comfortable and responsible with their power. It's not a case of deferring power to anybody else. The new human becomes very comfortable in recognizing and being able to act upon that power, recognizes the true source of power, which is the divine operating through them. So none of our power is personal from a personality perspective. It is always and ever the divine operating through us, which is the authentic manifestation of that. It is unafraid, fearless, and authentic, and it acts for the greater good of all. It is leadership without pride, arrogance, or ego, balanced and expansive in mind and heart. And this is really what we're going to do in the journey that we're going to start now, that I'm going to take you through. We're going to journey through time. We are going to go back to this epoch, and we are going to harness this energy, the Leonine energy, which was imprinted into the morphogenetic fields of humanity and the planet 13,000 years ago. And we're going to bring that forward, bring that into our being, and then we are going to access and expand our mental energy so that we bring both of those aspects to play and to bear in our lives right now, so that we essentially access and become the blueprints for the new planetary human, not just for ourselves, but for everybody else. And one of the things that's really pertinent and relevant in terms of this balancing right now and this power is, if you look around, I've been following the case of looking at the case of Bradley Manning, who is this American private who exposed the US war crimes in Afghanistan and Iraq through the work that he was doing as an intelligence officer. I think he was in intelligence. And he came across documents which exposed the underhanded nature of the war crimes of the US and various other powers that be. And Bradley Manning actually had the power to stand firm in his space and expose that, and he has just been sentenced to 35 years in prison. But for that, for being a whistleblower. But he held his ground, and he, to me, represents the heart of the lion doing the right thing, because he is effectively acting as a role model and a living embodiment of that blueprint that we can all benefit from. And this is the true understanding of the divine that works through us, is that we have the courage to stand and to do the right things absolutely from an open mind and an expanded heart when it's necessary, and with courage and strength. So I hope that that really gives you some food for thought. You will get a copy of the full webinar So you can go through this again. And you can also do your own checking up on that, sort of some of the aspects that have been shared here. So if you are all ready, I know that that's quite a bit to absorb, but it really would have set the tone. So are you all ready for the journey and the process? Are you comfortable where you are? Yes. Any questions at all before we actually go any further? Does anybody have any questions at all? You're all ready. Okay, that's fantastic. So, what I would like you to do is to sit comfortably where you are. Rest your hands on your lap. Take a very long, slow, deep breath in as you just simply allow all of that information that is currently cogitating in your mind to simply ease its way into your body with the full knowledge that you can access the wisdom in it at the right time. Just let it go with your breath as you breathe in and out in your own time. Establish a natural rhythm and you close your eyes, and with each out breath you feel your body relaxing. You experience your mind calming. And all of that information moving through the neurons within your brain transmits itself down into your heart, where it becomes a deeper knowing. And as it enters the heart, there is an expansion and a warmth and a love for yourself, for the role that you have taken on. Be here now at this time. You are effectively a power source for humanity, for your minds have already been awakened, and your heart and your souls have been stirred by the wisdoms of the ancients and the knowledge and the love of the divine that resides within you. Just breathe in that knowingness for a few more moments. And now create your diamond around you, your sacred octahedron, your manifestation vehicle for expanding your connection with the ultimate divine creative force. And ensure that your diamond is centered so that you're connected with the soul star above your head and the earth star below your feet. And the central point of your diamond is aligned with the tip of your tailbone. And expand your breathing to include your diamond, so that the very essence of this sacred geometry resonates throughout every cell in your body with your breath. And you see your body internally glistening with the forms of millions and trillions of tiny, sparkling jewels of light, tiny octahedra forming that powerful grid matrix within you. And just become aware now that beyond your diamond you connect in to an infinite grid of diamonds ever expanding further than the eye can see, that they expand on into infinity, front and back and side and side. See yourself as that individuated expression within the grander grid. And take your consciousness now to the fiber or the axis of your diamond that runs from the center of your being, from the from the root or the sacrum behind you. And through this fiber you access the timelines of history. And with your consciousness, follow this fiber behind you, move through it in your diamond as you allow yourself to travel back in time. And as you do, just notice the changes taking place on the planet through the epochs, through the age of Pisces, back through the age of Aries, and further back until you reach a point approximately 13,000 years ago, which was the original age of Leo. It was a time when humanity had the opportunity to master the fiery energy of passion, of love, of the heart, of fearlessness and courage. You may find yourself suddenly aware that you are wearing different clothing. It doesn't matter, just look around you and feel the energy of this grand cycle in time. Notice what the people are doing. And through the Earth star at the lower point of your diamond, connect with the Earth and feel the essence and energy that the Earth has been projecting into the planetary grids at this time. Let it awaken ancient memories within you as the DNA in your body responds to the electromagnetic signals stored within the grid in this time zone. Just notice what arises for you. And in your diamond, now set the intention of the coordinates to take you into ancient Egypt, the Egypt of 13,000 years ago, to the location of the Sphinx. And just see yourselves gathering as diamonds between the pores of this magnificent monument of that age, and that the original face on this incredible monument was originally that of a lion. Just explore your surroundings here. And as you turn to face the same direction that the Sphinx is facing, you're at the time of day when the sun is just rising up over the horizon, and those first rays of light are bathing the planet. And behind the sun and those rays of light is the constellation of Leo. And that constellation is radiating the divine attributes and qualities associated with love, with courage, with fearlessness, with power, with sacredness, with the absolute knowing of the true divine patterns that underpin and underlie all of life. And as you stand there gathered, the collective diamonds harness the light from the sun, which is gathering up the radiations of the constellation, and there in front of this magnificent monument you absorb and allow your diamonds to absorb the power and the strength and the gift. You may see this archetypally as a leonine image. Whichever way you experience it, allow your body to be open and receptive to these energies, knowing the gift that they bring you. And you stand in full recognition of the divine nature and of the seed source of the new planetary human from 13,000 years ago. Feel your body and your cells awakening to the wisdom and the knowing of that. And in this space, see yourself joining hands with all of the other diamond souls on this call, so that your individual diamond fields merge and you form a circle of diamonds. And together in this space, you amplify that energy, that divine essence, that regulating effect of Leo into the planetary grids and out to humanity. Then no matter where they exist on the timelines, they may be touched by that awakening force and the knowledge of the true power that they hold. And each of your diamonds is alight with a sacred, divine, golden fire, amplified and magnified through the power of this collective intention and process, rippling through time and rippling across space. Set the intention that all who use their minds for powerful creativity do so with the utmost regard for the sanctity and the sacredness of all of life. As you recognize that within yourself and as a divine truth. And now, holding hands with that embodiment of golden fire, Bring yourselves back into the current space, into the now of this time space. Just notice for a moment how your body is feeling. Become aware of the energy through your Earth star center and the morphogenetic fields and how they have shifted, if you can sense this. And now, together, you're going to travel on the timeline through the grids in front of you into a future, approximately 1 to 2,000 years into the future. And let's go back geographically to the place of the Sphinx and ancient Egypt. Only this time we are seeing the place 2,000 years in the future. We are experiencing the energies of 2,000 years in the future when mankind has optimized and maximized the use and the capabilities and the power of his mind. Take a look around you at the environment and notice what you see. Allow yourself to feel into the planetary grids through your Earth star and notice how differently they feel in this time space. What does the environment look like? Have the functions of the pyramids been restored? And on this future timeline, with that great monument standing testament to the bridge between the past and the future, you stand again between the paws of the Sphinx and you look out at the horizon. And this time as the sun rises, behind it is the constellation of Aquarius. And the radiations emanate from this, bringing inspired creativity, expanded mental ability, the power to manage, direct, and control your thoughts, the power to understand. These radiations are funneled and channeled through the sun. So as the sun rises in front of you as a group, feel the difference in the quality of this energy and allow yourself to absorb it and notice where in your body you feel this. Be aware of the neurons in your brain making new and vibrant connections as you absorb this radiation from this specific constellation. As you imprint your beingness, your nervous system, with these expansive, airy qualities, feel yourself growing taller, bigger, but anchored and powerful. Feel and be aware of the core column through your diamond between the Soul Star and the Earth Star, expanded and strengthened, brighter, as your body is able to accommodate greater frequencies and volumes of electromagnetic energy through your enhanced nervous systems. See how much lighter, notice how much lighter your space is. And join hands in this space, and again connect your diamonds as you absorb, anchor, and transmit this vibrant, airy energy. This energy that sees through illusion, that has a mind that is free of conditioned beliefs, that cuts like a laser through anything that has mentally imprisoned us. And allow that energy out, amplify it out into the world. And just for a moment, through your Earth Star, become aware of the ancient civilizations that have walked this earth, that have traversed and been through this particular type of epoch previously. And underneath these light emanations that you're feeling in this future time, there is an older, much more ancient learning that has been embedded within the earth's fields. Just allow yourself to feel this for a moment, to know it, and to be in full awareness of how the current age and transformation has shifted from the previous epoch. And allow this airy light that has been transmitted to you and through you to emanate as illumination through your body into the earth. And let it bring illumination and transformation to the more ancient cycle that we are restoring and perfecting through our own journey. And with a deep breath in now, allow your consciousness to return to this existing now moment in space-time. And just spend a few moments observing all of the changes taking place within your diamond space, of the changes taking place within your body, and of the changes that are taking place also within your emotional level of being. And just allow a particular event to bubble up from your unconscious with a person or place or set of circumstances where you can apply this new balance of qualities, this ability to do the right thing in your life at the moment. So what is it or who is it that you may be aware of where you are being asked or required to do something different in order to seed doing the right thing? Where you're required to step into a place of strength and fearlessness and deep authenticity, harmonized and balanced by love. And see yourself doing or saying whatever is required of you for whatever the situation is at itself. And as you do, you are sowing the seeds for future behaviors that are perfectly aligned with the divine expression of a new planetary human. Each time that you follow your guidance and that you act authentically and fearlessly, it becomes easier to do it again and again. It becomes easier for others. Take a deep breath in now. As you bring your consciousness back into your body, into the now. And another deep breath in and breathe out. Just for this moment, be aware of how you stand poised between two magnificent epochs in time. How you harness the energies of both. And how these together seed the requirements for our learning and evolution through this current time. Feel the stability, all encompassed within your diamond. Deep breath in and breathe out. And when you're ready, you can gently open your eyes. Ah, how wonderful! Sorry, I know I'm recording this. I won't be able to edit it, but Angela's just put in the chat room that we finished at exactly 12:12 when I said open your eyes, and that's 12:12 Eastern time. It's 12 minutes past 5 here in the UK. How perfect, perfect. Thank you for that wonderful observation, Angela. Um, a lot more going on there than we actually realize, and it will be is something that will become evident for you over time. Are you guys back? I would suggest as well, and I will just finish this as part of the recording, that you look for things and opportunities from here on where you would be challenged to step into your authentic self. Take note of where the fears arise within you and harness these timelines. Put yourself in your diamond and harness the energies that are actually coming through to you into that balance point, into your core column. Okay, and in that moment, stand firm and hold your space and be in your authenticity, be in your strength, because that is what the new planetary human is actually all about. And it is truly sacred. It is sacred and it is strong. It is not the fluffiness that so many teachings do promulgate. It is strength. It is incredible strength. I'm going to stop the recording, so I'm just going to formally say thank you. We can leave the chat room open so that you guys can share a little. So I want to thank you very, very much for joining us. And yeah, listen to it again. I will edit it for you and issue it again. But I hope you have a fabulous, fabulous weekend. And thank you.